Seduction starts with energy, not just words. You could send the most beautifully crafted message, the most poetic line, or the most daring flirt, and if the energy behind it doesn't match, it'll fall flat. On the other hand, you could send just a single emoji, a simple thinking of you, or even a playful guess what I'm wearing, and if it's charged with the right feminine energy, it can light a fire in him. Because men don't just respond to what you say, they respond to how you make them feel. The secret sauce behind every sexy text isn't the text itself, but the woman behind it, her energy, her confidence, her intention. When your energy is light, confident, playful, and embodied, a man feels it immediately. It's like he can sense the smile on your face when you're typing. He can feel the warmth in your tone even when the words are brief. This is why two women can send the exact same text and get completely different reactions. One might get a flat, "ah," back. The other might get a, "when can I see you?" The difference? One sent the message from a place of trying to get validation. The other sent it from a place of knowing she is the prize and simply sharing her radiance. Sexy doesn't mean raunchy. And it definitely doesn't mean trying too hard. Sexy is a frequency, it's a way of being. It's how you hold yourself, it's how you let a man in just enough to draw him closer, but not so much that he loses the chase. A sexy text has this perfect balance between accessibility and mystery. It says, "I'm thinking about you and I'm letting you see a little of my world, but not all of it. If you want more, you'll have to come closer." That kind of message doesn't need to be graphic, it just needs to be alive. And the energy that makes a message feel alive comes from you being connected to you, your joy, your body, your desires. If you want to send a sexy text, take a moment before you type. Don't just sit there trying to sound clever. Breathe, drop into your body, maybe even smile. Think about what you're truly feeling. Are you lit up? Are you turned on by life? Are you in your feminine flow? If not, take a second to get there. Because when you send from that place, it's magnetic. He won't just read your words, he'll feel them. So many women try to copy paste someone else's perfect text, thinking that will be the magic bullet. But the truth is, it's not about the script, and it's about how you bring that message to life. One woman can send, "I had a dream about you last night," and it lands as boring or forced. Another woman can send the same exact line, and suddenly he's captivated. Why? Because the second woman was tapped into her power. Her energy was authentic. She wasn't texting to get a reaction. She was texting because she was in the moment and letting him feel her feminine essence. This is the heart of seductive communication. You're not trying to perform. You're not trying to manipulate. You're inviting him into your world, a world that feels exciting, warm, sensual, and high value. You're not chasing. You're not pushing. You're simply glowing. And the glow is what draws him in. It's the smile in your tone, the spark behind the emoji, the softness in your presence that says, "I'm here, I'm whole, and I'm inviting you to experience this with me." It's the energy that makes a man lean in. That's what he remembers when the message is long gone. Make him feel like you're a hero. This doesn't mean pretending you're helpless or faking admiration. It means tapping into a core truth about masculine energy. Men are wired to want to protect, provide, and pursue. When a man feels like he's making your life better, when he feels seen and appreciated for what he brings to the table, it lights him up. It activates something deep inside him that says, "This is a woman I want to show up for." And the beauty of this isn't about ego stroking, it's about emotional connection. When you reflect back to a man that he's capable, strong, trustworthy, and impactful, you're speaking directly to his heart. And when a man's heart opens, his desire deepens. This kind of message doesn't need to be long or dramatic. A single sentence can do it. Something like, I feel so safe when I talk to you, or I love the way you handle things. You're such a rock can go so much further than any over-the-top compliment because it's not about flattery. It's about truth. It's about noticing his effort, his strength, his presence, and letting him know it matters to you. That's what makes him feel needed in the best way. Not because you can't live without him, but because you choose to invite him into your world. So many women today are afraid to lean into this dynamic because they've been told that being strong means being self-sufficient in every way. And yes, being independent is beautiful, but letting a man feel like he's adding to your life doesn't take away your power, it amplifies it. You don't need him to complete you, but when you let him contribute to your happiness, your safety, or your joy, it makes him feel like a man. And not just any man, your man. That's a powerful feeling for him. Men are often starved for appreciation. They walk through life with pressure to perform, to succeed, to appear tough. But what they rarely get is someone who genuinely sees their heart. Someone who says, I noticed the way you handled that, or you have this way of making me feel calm even when things are chaotic. When you offer that kind of affirmation, especially through a text, it hits different. It's unexpected. It stands out, and it builds a bond of emotional intimacy that naturally leads to physical desire. Because once a man feels emotionally connected to you, once he feels like he matters to you, his desire to be close, physically, romantically, sexually, grows stronger. And here's the nuance. You're not doing this to manipulate him. You're doing it because you genuinely see him, you appreciate him, you value the way he shows up. And when you express that appreciation authentically, you become a woman he wants to keep showing up for. It becomes a feedback loop. He gives more, you appreciate more, and the connection deepens. You can even make it playful. A sexy twist on this dynamic might be texting something like, you're so good at taking charge. I kind of love that about you. Or I was thinking about how you handled that thing last week. Total hero moment. It's flirty, it's warm, and it makes him feel like he's winning in your eyes. And when a man feels like he's winning with you, he wants to keep playing the game because you've made it worth it. Ultimately, making him feel like your hero isn't about changing who you are. It's about embracing your softness, your appreciation, your feminine power. It's about creating space for him to rise, to lead, to give. And when he feels like he gets to be his best self with you, when he feels trusted, admired, and welcomed, he won't just want you. He'll be inspired to pursue you with everything he's got. Leave room for imagination. There is something deeply seductive about not giving it all away. When you hint instead of tell, tease instead of declare, suggest instead of describe, you invite his mind to play. And the mind is the most powerful erogenous zone. The truth is, what we imagine is often more exciting than what's right in front of us. It builds anticipation, it stirs desire, and it makes a man lean in. When you leave space for him to wonder, to fantasize, to fill in the blanks, you're not just sending a message, you're creating an experience. And that experience is magnetic. A sexy text doesn't have to be graphic to be effective. In fact, the most irresistible texts often say the least. Think of a simple line like, if you knew what I was thinking right now, or I had a dream about you last night, but I probably shouldn't tell you what happened. Those words alone might seem vague, but that's the point. You're giving him just enough to spark his curiosity without satisfying it. You're putting a question in his mind, one that only you can answer, and suddenly he's thinking about you, wondering, imagining. He's not just reading your text, he's mentally undressing it, exploring all the possibilities and attaching those feelings to you. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding the rhythm of seduction. If you serve everything up on a silver platter, there's nowhere for the imagination to go. But when you create tension, when you dance around the edges, when you show a little and conceal a little more, it draws him in. You become the story he can't stop reading, the mystery he wants to solve, the woman he wants to uncover. Slowly, intentionally, fully, men, just like women, crave emotional and sensory stimulation. They love the chase, not because they want to play, but because it makes the prize more meaningful. So when you send a message that leaves space for the unknown, you activate that part of him that wants to earn your attention, your affection, your body. A message like, "You crossed my mind today," in a very distracting way, doesn't say much, but it says everything. It's an open door to 100 fantasies. He'll start wondering where you were when he crossed your mind, what you were doing, what you were feeling. And that's the power of restraint. It creates depth. Leaving room for imagination also puts you in control. You decide how much to reveal, when to reveal it, and how to build that rising tension. You can start light, maybe playful, then slowly move toward more suggestive messages as the connection deepens. This gives your relationship a natural build-up and keeps the spark alive over time. It's like telling a great story. You don't jump to the climax in the first sentence. You set the scene, you build the characters, you let the tension rise. And when you finally deliver the moment, it lands with so much more impact because he's been waiting, wondering, wanting. And there's something incredibly feminine about this kind of communication. It's soft, mysterious, alluring. It draws him into your world without demanding his attention. It's the kind of energy that makes him stop what he's doing just to respond. Not because you begged for his time, but because you sparked his interest so powerfully he couldn't ignore it. That's what leaving room for imagination does. It gives him a space to step into. And when a man steps into that space on his own, he feels invested. He feels connected. And that connection, built on curiosity and emotional engagement, becomes the foundation for deeper intimacy. So instead of thinking about what you can say to impress him, think about what you cannot say that will still linger in his mind. Think about how to wrap a feeling, a fantasy, or a playful challenge in just a few words. That's the real magic. Because when a man is imagining you, he's already halfway to wanting you. Show him you're thinking of him in a flirty way. This is one of the most powerful ways to stay on his mind and deepen the connection between you. Men love to feel desired just like women do. When you send a message that lets him know he's been on your mind, and you wrap it in a playful, feminine energy, it creates a spark that lingers. It tells him that even in the middle of your busy life, he's the one you're choosing to think about. And when that message carries just a hint of flirtation, it lights him up in a way that goes beyond logic. He doesn't just feel noticed, he feels wanted. Flirty doesn't mean overly suggestive or inappropriate. It's more about your tone, your timing, and your confidence. It's a playful nudge, a wink between the lines. You can send something as simple as, "Something reminded me of you today," not saying what, and suddenly his mind is racing. Or you can say, "I just walked past someone wearing your cologne. Now I'm distracted," and he immediately feels your attraction. These kinds of messages are light, fun, and emotionally charged. They remind him that you're tuned in, that you're feeling something, and that you're letting him feel it too. The beauty of a flirty text is that it bridges the emotional and the sensual. It creates a loop where your emotional intimacy feeds the romantic tension. And that tension keeps the emotional connection exciting. You're not just checking in with him, You're inviting him into a moment. You're saying, I see you. I feel something when I think of you, and I'm bold enough to let you know. That's incredibly attractive. A confident woman who knows how to tease, how to express warmth, how to drop just the right words at the right moment, that's unforgettable. Men are visual creatures, yes, but they're also deeply responsive to energy. A message like, if only you knew what I'm thinking about you right now, is far more powerful when it comes from a woman who's in her feminine, relaxed, and glowing energy. He doesn't need a paragraph. He just needs to feel you. And when your words carry that spark, he won't be able to stop thinking about you. You become the woman who lifts his mood, who makes his day more exciting, who reminds him of the passion that lives between you, even through a phone screen. This kind of flirting isn't reserved for someone you're already in a deep relationship with either. Even if things are just starting out, even if it's early days, you can still let him feel that soft, flirtatious energy. It's a way of signaling interest without chasing. You're not saying, I need you. You're saying, I enjoy thinking about you. And that's a high value vibe. It's the kind of energy that says you're open, feminine, and emotionally generous. And the best part, you can tailor your flirty messages to your own personality. If you're more playful, go for humor. If you're more sultry, add a touch of mystery. If you're sweet, send something cute that still carries a little heat. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about letting the real you come through in a way that's honest and emotionally alive. The goal is to make him smile, to make his pulse quicken, to create a moment of connection in the middle of his day that reminds him of how you make him feel. That's what keeps him coming back. Not just the content of the message, but the feeling it gives him. When a man starts associating you with joy, anticipation, and lighthearted intimacy, you become unforgettable. A simple flirty message can do more than start a conversation. It can start a desire. It can make him crave more of your energy, more of your attention, more of you. Lead with confidence, not desperation. Confidence is one of the most irresistibly attractive qualities a woman can have. It's not about being loud, aggressive, or dominant. It's about knowing your worth and showing up in your feminine power without seeking approval. When you text from that place of self-assuredness, a man can feel it instantly. It changes the energy of the message. And instead of trying to impress him or fish for attention, you're inviting him into your world. A world that's already full, vibrant, and whole. That energy is magnetic. It doesn't pull from him, it draws him in. Desperation, on the other hand, repels. It shows up when you're texting to get a response, to soothe your own insecurity, or to force a connection that isn't naturally flowing. You might say something sweet or sexy, but if it's coming from a place of anxiety or lack, he'll sense that something's off. He might not be able to articulate it, but he'll feel the pressure, the neediness, the silent, please like me behind the words. And even if he responds out of politeness, the attraction fades. Because what men respond to, what everyone responds to, is energy. And desperate energy is heavy. Confident energy is light, free, and alluring. Leading with confidence means you're not afraid to show interest, but you're also not afraid to walk away if it's not reciprocated. You can flirt, compliment, tease, and initiate conversations, but you're doing it because you want to, not because you need to. You're not texting to fill a void. You're texting because you feel inspired, playful, connected to your own joy. That's the difference. One comes from a place of fullness, the other comes from lack, and men can feel the difference without you ever saying a word about it. A confident text might look like, you just popped into my head. I like when that happens. It's sweet, open, and vulnerable, but it doesn't ask for anything. It lets him know you're thinking of him without needing a certain response. It's you showing up with your feminine essence and letting him choose how to engage. Or maybe it's something bolder, like I had a dream about you last night. Let's just say it made waking up difficult. That's confident. It's playful. It's owning your desire without shame and without needing him to validate it. Confidence also means not over-explaining, not over-texting, and not panicking when he doesn't reply right away. It means trusting that if a man is into you, he'll respond. And if he doesn't, that's not a reflection of your value, it's just information. When you operate from this mindset, you maintain your emotional power. You stop chasing and start attracting. You start being the flame instead of the moth. And that's what turns everything around. The truth is, confidence is sexy because it tells a man, I know who I am, I love who I am, and I choose to share my time and energy with people who appreciate it. It's the opposite of performing or pretending. It's authenticity. When you lead with that kind of energy, your messages don't just get read, they get remembered. You stop being one of many, and you become the one he thinks about, the one who stands out, the one who didn't try too hard because she didn't have to. You don't need to compete with other women or second guess your every move. When you lead with confidence, you automatically elevate the conversation. You make it more intimate, more real, and more emotionally charged. And when you combine that confidence with warmth, playfulness, and genuine curiosity, you create a space that a man wants to be in. Not because you begged for it, but because you owned your value and invited him to meet you there. That's the kind of energy that makes a man not just want you, but respect you, pursue you, and rise to your level.